All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the weekly Roundup here with the Mountaineers' all-time winningest head football coach, head coach Tim Camp. Coach Camp currently here in year 15 at the helm with the Mounties. Coach, thanks for joining me again.
Hey, thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
So, let's get into it. This last week, you guys you traveled down to Caldwell, Idaho to take on the undefeated Yotes from the College of Idaho, who are currently ranked number 11 in the country. You know, the Mounties played them tough in the first half, and I think you guys caught a lot of people by surprise. After two quarters, it was a two-score game. You guys trailed 14 at the half. The defense did a pretty good job keeping a very dynamic C of I offense in check, and we saw, Blaine Shaw pick up his second interception of the season in that first half. Second half comes around, and the Yotes offense kind of found its stride and rhythm, ended up pulling away for a 41-0 win, proving why they're one of the best teams in the country. What are your thoughts and the outlook on that game, Coach?
Right, yeah, there's no surprise. I mean, this is the Frontier Conference. We can play with anybody. At the end of the day, in all three phases, we got to be able to execute. It wasn't the game plan that we went down there with. Being down 14 is not a good deal for us, and I'm not in it for closeness. I'm not in it for, hey, you know what, we're trying to surprise people. We went down there with the intention to win, and with relentless behavior, an uncommon commitment, and being able to play for each other, good things will start happening for us. We had some things go on in that game that were kind of uncharacteristic of what we're trying to become and the foundation that we've been trying to build here for 15 years, and that's being able to block better, be able to tackle better, be able to put points on the board, be able to keep the opposing team out of the end zone, and basically at the end of the day, for everybody within the program, including myself, to just do our job and to be able to trust each other. So it wasn't the game plan that we went down there with, and it wasn't one of the things that we had stressed all week. College, I don't take nothing away from College of Idaho. They do a great job, and they are a very, very good football team. I just need us to be able to communicate. I need us to be able to block better, tackle better, and do the things that I know that we're more than capable of doing on a play-by-play basis.
Right, and you did bring up some things. I mean, O-line wise, we saw only one sack this last weekend, so there's a good positives takeaway from that there. But also, there's a lot of stuff that you can take into this next game, right? Playing SOU, right? An in-state rival. Or what's the big takeaways that you can use here going into that game?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. You know what? The past will only define you if you live in it, or if you stay in it, or if you decide that, hey, this is who we are, right? And that's not how I coach. I'm optimistic. I'm upbeat. Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. But at the end of the day, the same thing I said in the team meeting yesterday. Well, at the end of the day, being realistic. Okay, we need to get better at X, Y, and Z. We need to get better at tackling. We need to get better at at blocking. We need to get better at several positions for us to be in the conversation. And it's not just, hey, that's a really good play, and then back it up with something that's not expected of us, right? So it's got to be the consistency. It's got to be the way that you practice. It's got to be the way that you walk, the way that you talk. And it's one of the pillars. It's number 4. It's resilience. Okay. So hey, it's so what now what, right? What are we gonna do? We're gonna play for each other. We're Mounties. We're gonna mount up. We're gonna continue to go out there. We're gonna practice. We're gonna keep swinging for the fences. Hey, yeah, guess what? We have another opportunity. That's the same message that I had at College of Idaho. You have opportunities. Now, what are we going to do with it? And I'm talking to the coaches. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to the third team right guard. There's a lot of things that a head coach can take out of this game that is, hey, that was awesome. There's somebody doing something great every single time. But it takes all 11 of us to do our jobs, right? It takes the head coach to do his job. It takes the OC to do his job. It takes the defensive coordinator to do his job, the D-line coach, the receivers coach. It takes all of us to put a product out on the field that at the end of the day, we can look at the film and go, hey, you know what? I got my name on that. I'm all in. I'm all in 24/7. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, people say it all the time, but football's the ultimate team sport, and you just alluded to that, right? From the top down,
oh gosh,
it takes every man. So, I think, yeah, that's something that you stress the importance of, and sometimes that gets forgotten a little bit when you see all the highlighted individual performances. But again, I mean, it's 11 guys on the field. I mean, you got 11 for offense, 11 for defense. You got a mix of guys going in for special teams, and yeah, it's a team effort.
Oh, right. You're spot on. I love it.
Right. Well, hey, let's get into this. Outlook for the next week. You guys are going to be at home here for your sixth game of the season, taking on in-state rival Southern Oregon University, which we kind of mentioned earlier. Southern sitting at 1-3 on the year, coming off a 12-point loss to Carroll on the road. They lost 14-26. The Raiders are averaging about 26 points per game. They've had a decently balanced attack on the year, throwing for 238 yards a game and then rushing for just under 143. Defensively, aside from their big win over Montana Northern in week 2, they've given up 26 points or more each game. So it seems like there's some opportunity there. What's the outlook on this week, and what are your thoughts heading into this game, Coach?
Yeah, I think every game is a little bit different. I think that I just finished watching the Carroll and Southern game. Southern had many opportunities, just as we did against Carroll College. Obviously, I think their quarterback can throw every ball in the book. I think he's very, very good. I think they have a solid run game, and I know Coach Hall does a really, really nice job with those guys. Defensively, they like to sit in a 4-3, and they show you some base coverages. They like to pressure with the box. They show a little bit of blitz with some bloods and some plugs and things like that. So it's basically what everybody in the Frontier Conference is doing, So I don't think we're going to be shocked or surprised by, scheme-wise, right? This is the balanced offensive attack that a lot of people like. And then there, the 40 front defense, and then you get to third downs, they're going to be in a 30 front and maybe pressure just a little bit more. So I don't think we're going to be shocked by anything that they do, right? I think that they're trying to get better just as we're trying to get better. I think at the end of the day, on paper, it looks like a very, very fair fight. But now for us to go and beat a good Southern Oregon team, just because of the records are out the door at this point. You're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to execute. You're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to take this game and show everybody in the stands that, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm a football player and I'm a good one, right? And I'm going to do my 111th. I'm going to do my job. And then again, it really don't matter who you play. If you're doing your job, good things will happen. And if you're working very hard and you're giving great effort and you're running to the football and you're gang tackling, you're blocking and you're playing through the whistle, you're putting the ball on time to playmakers in space, hey, all good things will happen. So again, we just happen to be playing Southern Oregon, which is a huge game in state for us. But at the same time, I'm more focused on us making sure that we do what we're supposed to do each and every play. Hey, great play. Well, guess what? Next play. Hey, that wasn't such a great play. Hey, guess what? Next play. So we're talking about the next play mentality daily. We're talking about just doing our job, doing our 111, making sure that my teammate, my guy on offense or my guy on defense, he can trust that I'm going to do my job at the end of the day. And that's been the focus point moving forwards, right? I'm not looking back. I'm looking forward to a big in-state game against one of the Southern Oregon universities, that has a very good football team. So that's a focus point for us and what we're going to attack this with.
Yeah, that's all great stuff, Coach. And I know you talked about keeping the focus on your team, and I think that's an awesome mindset. And you talk about the Frontier Conference, right, where it's like, oh, we're playing Southern Oregon and they've got a bounce attack. It's just the parity that's in this conference and the amount of talent that's in this conference, right? I mean, look at Carroll. They're sitting as one of the top teams in the conference, and they beat us by 1, right? So
yeah.
That's a good point.
It's each week, as you watch the film, as I watch Southern Oregon, it reminds me of their defense, reminds me a lot of Montana Tech. I mean, everybody has guys. Everybody's going to have guys that make plays. We just happen to need more guys to step up and do the things that I know that they're more than capable of doing and making the plays when they count, and that brings me to, just being a competitor every single day. It doesn't matter if you're in the math lab, you're in study hall, or if you're out on the football field. It's that burn the boat mentality. Make sure, hey, I'm an all in all the time guy, right? And then be be at a point where that competitive maturity, where I'm trying to challenge the next guy in front of me. I'm trying to push to get more reps, or I'm trying to get on special forces so I can be a factor in the game. So again, everybody has a role. Now, we don't like the fact that at any point in time that, hey, you're content with your role. We need challenging. We need competitors to be able to step up every single day. And it's not only going to help them on the football field, but it's going to help them in life when they're 35 and 40. Hey, what? I remember going and playing Southern Oregon, come on playing. That was a huge win for Eastern Oregon. And this is where we were, but we weren't going to live there. We're going to continue to build. Because at the end of the day, being here for as long as I have, ups and downs will come, but how you lead and how you bring and how you challenge guys, that's what's going to be the deciding factor on if you win this week or if you win next week. But to make sure that we're looking back within ourselves, right, and doing what we can do and keeping it focused on our team, that's what's going to matter at the end of the day.
Absolutely, yeah, that's all great stuff again, Coach. And so as we wrap it up here, let's end on our last question always. If you had to pick 3 keys to win this upcoming game, what do you think the big 3 things are?
Well, we spoke about them. The number one thing is being resilient. All right, that's the one thing. You have to be able to weather the storm. You have to pick yourself up. You got to continue to go, and then obviously that competitive piece. You got to be a competitor every single day. When you wake up, you better hit the ground running. And then the last thing is play the game the way it's supposed to be played. Play the game because you love it. Play the game because it's fun. Coach the game and find some joy out of it. Because, again, if you're looking in the past, you can't see the future, right? So, again, those 3 things right there are going to lead us to a victory against Southern Oregon.
Love it, love it. Yeah, live in the now, right? Live in the present. So
let's go. That's all you can do.
Exactly.
Anybody can say what they want. I'm here every single day. I know where we're at. I know what we got to do. And again, being resilient, being a competitor, and then at the end of the day, making your play. That's what it's going to take.
Right on. Well, hey, as always, Coach, great stuff, and we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Mount up. Come support us this weekend.
Yep, the Mounties are going to be at home. So, hey, the Mounties are going to take on Southern Oregon University at 1 p.m. this coming Saturday at home here in La Grande for the 6th contest of the season. As always, you can find links for all game day coverage on the football schedule at EOUsports.com. Thanks again for joining us on the weekly Roundup. Don't forget to follow Mountaineer Athletics on all of its social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube by searching at EOU Athletics. We'll see you next week, Mountie Nation.